look at how we can deliver clean water with poor infrastructure, okay, in an intelligent manner. All right? So,
Best of
that's the rationale. Okay? I'll hand over to my assistant.
But basically, I think we were thinking about that. How is it possible to deliver clean water through damaged infrastructure? Similar to biological system in which we can carry out oxygen within plants, in membranes. So if we can come with an idea of how to package water within a polluted solution throughout, how, if we can be able to deliver that with a biological membrane or whatever we want to do through the system. So that's of course, so the rationale of that, of course, it's a major problem. It affects the health. It will reduce the investment in fixing the infrastructure in developing countries, and it will make us very, very rich. Don't forget that. There is a methodology. We talked about methodology. We talked about the partnership and the stakeholders, and we have many stakeholders here. And we looked at then, is it possible to deliver that in a meaningful way and reduce the illness and the health hazards and for all. So it has environmental dimension, it has health and well-being dimension, it has social and environmental and economic dimension. So it's a great project. I think we all agree, don't you?
Yeah, we agree.
We already talking about distribution money here.
Yeah, I think no, you don't withdraw your
Sorry?
I'm
your partner. You are my client. You will be first to buy.
As we are going to become millionaires, inshallah. So I would like to make a request if any chemical engineer or any
we need a chemical engineer.
Join us upon
Biochemical.
Yeah. Sir.
But the biological membrane.
He is biological.
Wow, it's basically having bottles. It's basically having mini bottles flowing through the system.
Yes.
Now, can I ask a question that it's a great idea, but has the group got any expertise, any previous publications, or are you confident?
Absolutely. We have the chemical engineer here. Okay. We have the stakeholder management, because we have a stakeholder management. We have the ecologist, and we have the infrastructure person. So we decided, by the way, we are going to work on Karachi because of the extreme. I mean, I'm sorry, but Peshawar doesn't have that much money. So we've got to work on Karachi, and we have the media as well with us.
Okay, great. So I think it looks like it's going to make all of you very rich. So maybe they can start making
Yeah, because we're nowhere near as shallow as these capitalists in the global north.
Can we move to the socialist one in this case?
Yes. So you.
Jealousy will not get you anywhere.
Smart. Yes, yes. So, sir, please. Thank you. I was at a training course the other week, and we were told to step outside our comfort zone. So I think from now on, all these presentations should be done through the medium of song. No, don't you agree, Tisha?
Singing is not
Yeah, yeah. But I won't sing. So this won't be me. This will be a team effort. So we were thinking, so we examined our strengths and our strengths, and we had. Who knows about the Internet of Things? Me. We thought we did until Soil told us what it is. And it's brilliant, isn't it? The Internet of Things. All these little computers everywhere. So we have a wide range. We've got some educationalists in here as well. Some teachers, people who know these things, and some of us who know a little bit about roads as well, and construction and other things. So we examined our strengths. So what we were thinking about was the smart technology, the Internet of Things, improving things. You know, Pakistan doesn't need to go through the pain that's happened elsewhere. You know, we can use the experience that's happened in the global north and what's happening in Pakistan now, and we can use that and we can develop something much better. So we're using smart transportation systems, the Internet of Things, data analytics. That's easy for Arslan to say. And importantly, improving the relationships between the two great nations, and probably Manchester as well. So Manchester,
great nation.
yeah, it's a great nation. You know, we need to, you know, the Socialist Republic of Manchester, with its capital in Ramsbottom, I think it would be a great thing. So, Sarah?
Yeah, and what we thought was very important from the start is to ensure that there is full involvement and recognition of all groups, and that includes individuals that are not on the grid, either because they are not IT literate, or they don't have access to technology, or they're living in an area with very limited data connectivity, or by choice, because in our society there are people that will not want to be part of the Internet of Things, and that should be it should be their choice as well. We were thinking of how to facilitate connectivity of different modes of transport. So shared vehicle ownership rather than single occupancy, using public transport, but particularly bicycles. So using the internet to achieve that, but also having manual override possibilities on it. We were very mindful that we're living in a society and in a country, and this goes for everywhere actually, where security is very important. So security of data, because if data is being collected, how can we ensure that there is resilience and rigor and robustness in relation to that data? So that's one of the important aspects of the challenge. We've got within our team, we're very lucky to have knowledge of people with knowledge of different areas of transport, but different areas of Pakistan as well, so that's going to be quite useful to us. One of the things that our major rationale for connecting is partly that. Also a society where, for the majority of the population, car ownership culture is non-existent yet. So aspiring to car ownership is something that is another challenge. That's something we're going to have to address. We've got the opportunity to do some co-research. So working with everyday members of the public, as well as in Pakistan with our researchers here, so that we can ensure that we've got whatever system we design is one that is fit for everybody's purpose. And the other aspect of this is the trade relationship that's developing between China and Pakistan, with transportation being a key there, so funding within that. We haven't written this down, but 4G coverage, which I know is something that a lot of countries in the global south are looking at and have a heavy investment in. I'm not sure what that situation is in Pakistan, but that's something that we can add. Maybe that's an opportunity, or maybe that's a challenge.
Okay, so can I clarify, are you aiming to develop something which could be implemented or piloted either in UK or Pakistan?
Yeah.
So have you thought about where would you be piloting it, who would be using?
Where would you suggest, Lisa?
Well, I think that's a very difficult question here.
Yeah. That's why I asked you. How about both in both places at the same time?
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah, I think yes, if the funders are giving you money, so they will be important to show that we have relevance to the UK and to Pakistan, maybe some cross-country comparison. So we move to the front.
Process Innovation Group.
Hello. Hello, Michelle. Who's not heard of the Pied Piper? Pied Piper. Who's not? So, there's a story in London, I forget the year, 1600 or something, where the Pied Piper led the rats away from London. And that actually happened twice, but the story's only read once. I think we've got a similar situation here in Pakistan. So, in our group, we discuss what skills we've got. And we've got the expert here, Ozzy, who's from Public Health Research from Centre University of London, Imperial London, sorry. We've got our resource materials process expert here from, and we've got two expert modelers here who've got data analysis and modelling skills which are far beyond mine. I know what BIM means, and I do know a lot about BIM, but these guys have passed me many times. And Raj has got a similar background, linking with research and looking into that sort of analysis. So we looked at this big problem in Pakistan. Always a good place. You have to touch this. So we discussed the sort of ideas in our project and what we can do. Stop. Can you? Hello. Right, so public health, sanitation and water and wastewater treatment is a big issue here, and without that I think Pied Piper would do a great job here in the future. But we thought we need to understand what is the best and most efficient way to do what we're doing now with water and wastewater and how it affects public health as it is today here in Pakistan. So we thought this leaves us with a great opportunity. And modelling the most efficient resource use and distribution of water and wastewater, which will reduce the effects on public health, is probably the focus we should aim at. And to do that, there are lots of opportunities. How water and wastewater is used, is mixed, is passed around. There's energy that we could make from using water, transportation of water. We could minimise the effects on the environment. But one of the ideas he had was, the discussion earlier was, we treat water, clean water, differently for different uses. And we haven't really looked at that properly. We've talked about using stormwater, rainwater for irrigation systems, but you don't need to treat it as much as you do for potable water. We need to clean water which goes back into the rivers, but as in the UK we have different levels of quality for different rivers because they have different conditions and different situations. I remember doing a scheme where we were cleaning the water so clean you could drink it coming out of a wastewater treatment plant. And I sat down with this engineering design of a membrane treatment plant. And he took the effluent from a wastewater treatment plant and drank it right in front of me. Won't be old, he had a great day. But for the rest of the day he was worried. But he was very confident that the cleanliness of the wastewater coming out of this treatment works was enough to drink. And he did that. That got Tony, forget my surname. So, how we use water and how we distribute it and how we treat it, we don't know enough. And it's different here than everywhere else. So let's look at what the best opportunities are for here in Pakistan. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll quickly add something. There are so many issues in Pakistan. Energy crisis, gas crisis, water crisis, transport trouble. Now we cannot solve everything in one go. We have to target something. I know we have infrastructure, water, energy, and built environment. Built environment covers all of them anyway. We have targeted water for a reason that World Economic Forum just last month or month before quoted that by 2050 Pakistan will have no water. So let's forget about dirty water, polluted water, people affected by it. There will be no water. So this is the most critical issue for us now. So we have to address this. We have to prioritize our troubles, and I think this is the biggest one. So we have to challenge this. For example, in India, they have taken a very small step, but very significant. Where the groundwater level is low, they are not planting rice and bananas because they consume a lot of water. So we are trying to do something which deals with wastewater, utilization of water, teaching people the behavior, how they can change their behavior of utilization of water. So everything comes under this umbrella.
Have you had any thoughts about where you could pilot your ideas?
Yeah, we were quite inspired by the work that has been done in Mardan, and I know the government there is very good as well. So we think there is an opportunity in that province where we can pilot our project. Yeah. So it can be any city within the province which is willing to coordinate with us. Yeah.
Basically, they are competitors.
The other most important thing I missed earlier actually was we've all got the skills of lean here, and one of the key features was we focusing on the process. What is the best and efficient use and distribution, which effectively is the process. So remember the story of the pipe. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So,
We like to add just a couple of things here now. Actually, when talking about developing the modeling system about that one, we're going to use about some of the new technology or virtual reality modeling about, rather than each cluster wise here, we're going to identify what are the behavior, end user behavior. Some of the area have a highly utilized number of consuming per day of the water consumption is much more higher, whereas some other cluster area is not equally distributed and not have enough to get the water enough time on that one. So how are you going to do the modeling about the overall the mass scale about even if in one city, even about the whole country about that one? We're planning to about some sort of the virtual reality model about that one. What we're going to do based on the existing, if I have any secondary data, water consumption and demand, we can use for that one. We can model about in 3D model and area-wise, focus-wise, you find about different folding and modeling and identify how much the demand in this cluster area, how much demand in this cluster area, and how it's going to be equally distribution at the same time changing the behavior of end user of that one. And that will massive impact in the total consumption of water, because we cannot increase the source of the water, because source of the water quantity day by day going down. And the other factor was keeping the constraint. All the rural population is coming urbanization. So every year the population of urbanization going much more higher and higher. So how are we going to meet the demand for increasing demand of that new population? If the population is coming in the cities, everything, all the resources demand is going much higher. And I hope that virtual reality technology can help to identify that.
okay, so that's great. That's great. So looking at it from Research Council's perspective, they are looking for impact of the work and return on investment. So one of the exercises which we will be doing is clearly identifying who are the key research establishments you are engaging with, which NGOs you are going to work with, both in the UK and Pakistan. So if you can start thinking on those directions. So I think if we can move to the last group and we can have a 5-minute debrief before we start with the second round.
Mike, please.
Right, we took the bottom-up approach, I have to say. So we started with what expertise, what strengths do we have. We kind of captured that, and our proposal is going to reinforce those capacities that we already have, and kind of taking it further. So with that in mind, most of us were talking about green infrastructure because of all the pollution problems that we are looking at. We have highest smoke this year probably, and actually the new word coin, smog, have also started to come in because of pollution. So we're kind of targeting green infrastructure from that point of view. So our proposal, because of the capacity we had, was quite widespread. The expertise we had covered from very sort of tied it down to material testing level and going up to the other side on policy. So we are targeting both policy implementation and the engineering side together. So our proposal would be to develop a center of excellence for green infrastructure, mainly focused on structures and buildings at the moment, but we will expand that forward hopefully in other areas. So our core aims are going to be focused on engaging with best current practice in other countries, for example UK, and we are thinking at current equivalent, if we can think of, would be BRE, Building Research Establishment in UK, which is doing a lot of research around buildings and energy, green infrastructure. So they are doing a lot of those. We kind of thought that model is working well there, why not that would also work best here? So we are thinking of bringing asset owners, and we had already got one member in our team which was quite keen on that. We are looking for membership-based schemes where the funds would be collected not just by government, because we know resources would always be an issue. So we are thinking of those memberships can fund the projects that the Center of Excellence will run. We would have elements of providing best guide practices for Pakistan, and then again we can adopt links from UK to achieve that purpose. We are looking at developing policies around Pakistan where implementation would become more easier to do because of engagement with asset owners within the forum and the industries there already. So there will be a lot of buy-in into the idea that will come forward from the Center of Excellence there. We are including material testing programs where new materials developed can be tested up to a point where they can be commercialized, so we can try to standardize those materials based on specifications generated by the center, and they can endorse certain materials to be used, and they can get a stamp of the excellence to be this is the best building in terms of green infrastructure kind of element. So we are also showcasing the projects in that sense, and yes, we do have expertise already on board where there is a big resource we have available for green infrastructure related buildings being constructed, and we have a database where we can actually start to collect the data from to take it forward. We were also talking about providing a platform for industry stakeholders it's a both-way stream, so we would want to know where industry wants to head and how can the center help them, and we will also provide a second line of engagement where world is going and how we can bring that to the industry. So it's a two-way element of exchange of ideas in that. And then for the human capital, we are also including element of training, where we would be training through the Center of Excellence newcomers in the area so that we can develop that resource required for the implementation of those more widely. We are also thinking of in a medium term to have prototype testing where we are moving away from material testing and actually starting the structural scale testing where we can prove the concepts being working correctly on certain buildings, which would then be beneficial for other clients to kind of have a look, get inspired and take them on board on their projects, because one of the barriers around the table, the discussion was that clients usually do not want to take risk, and this kind of prototype testing will help them understand that this is actually saving them costs in the long run. There was an example given where a building where the energy efficiency schemes were applied, they were able to save about 50% of the cooling systems costs for the life of the structures. That would be good kind of comparative studies which will help more sort of uptake of that to reduce the carbon footprint in the country. Have I covered everything? Yes. Yeah, of course.
Yes, there's one additional point that this amount of this effort, we want to make it sustainable for the future also. So developing Center of Excellence will not only cover the recent issue, but it will provide a base for future also. And we can pilot it. We have the space, we have the physical infrastructure also, and around NIUIP where we have energy centers and we have a lot of space there. So if we are going to get there, the effect of that effort will be multiplied in future, and we will be able to continue capacity building of the students plus the institutions which are working there. And as the nature of project shows, it will take time. So we need a solid, sustainable base which should be there forever. So universities and these kind of institutions are institutions where we can continue it further. So that will be probably multiplied for future. Yes.
So the aim is to get the initial funding from the funding proposal to get us going, but because of the membership income, we can continue and sustain the infrastructure from there on.
Okay, that's great. I think that's something which other groups can consider as well, how you are going to sustain this initiative. So it's not just Tom and a teacup and you spend £500,000, but how this will be used as a seed funding. Now, I will like to convey a message to all bid managers. So every group has got a bid manager who is expected to ensure that the case for sport gets developed. Now, we are working in a constrained environment, and that's how we work in a practical life as well. So the time is limited, so it's good you open up your laptops and try to put the thoughts being discussed on the paper as well. So there is a link to the Google Doc. Now, as we have finished with exercise 1, now we can start putting a little bit meat on the bones. And the second sheet has been placed on your table.